These are the stories of the people who enrich our community.
I was born in a small town which is called Yei, is Y-E-I. That is in central Equatoria. Central Equatoria is a part of the southern part of Sudan, and is the northern part of Congo, and is eastern part of Uganda. I was born in the year 1972, and it was, since I was born, it's only a short period of time that I know actually my dad, because my dad was killed. And then since I was born, I only saw him like 27 days since I was born, because I was born on November 28, and he was killed on December 27. So it was like a day for a month since I was born. And then at that time I was raised with my mom until I reached age of I think 11. So he put me to school and struggling raising me up. So at the time that I get a chance to go to a high school, that's why the Southern Sudanese rebels came to the area. That was in 1987, and they took all the kids from the school, passed them all to join the rebels. So when I joined the rebels in 1989, I ended up with them until 1993. That's the time that the UN decided that anyone who is below 18 have to be taken out from the rebel group. So at that time, lucky enough, I was in the border between Lokichokio and Kenya, which is Sudan and Kenya. And then one of the UN SARA driver actually found me, because at that time there was a war in the area, and then I got shot in my leg. And then because I was like moving with the scratch on outside the building, and then the UN SARA officer, not the officer, but the driver, find me, and he was like, do you want to help? I was like, sure, I need help. And he told me, okay, I'm going to take you to Kenya, and I will take care of you. I was like, okay, because I don't know where my parents, my mom is, my sisters. So I was like, okay, let's go. He took me to Kenya, and then he helped me out until, I get to the UN office. He took me over there, and they gave me papers, and then they sent me to the camp, which is called Ifo camp, which is almost 6 kilometers to Somalia. I stayed there until one of the American consular came to the camp and gave us the forms, to be filled, and we filled those forms, and then they went through the forms, and they said, okay, we will try to find a place where, can able to host you guys. And then luckily enough, through God's help, we get one of the agents called World Relief. And then the World Relief, I think, looked through our papers, and then lucky enough, I'm one of the people that, get resettled here by World Relief.
So he got his opportunity to leave Africa, but his adventure to find Kent as his home was not over yet.
I'm supposed to come to Seattle, and then luckily enough, my ex-sponsor, who used to be in Seattle, moved to Eastern Washington, and then I was transferred to a place called Canal, Washington, between Spokane and Tri-City. And then I lived there for almost 6 months, and then by then, it was almost, I think, August, and then the snow started coming, and somebody coming from a desert, or maybe the area that raining throughout, bringing him inside the time of snow. I wake up in the morning, I saw the snow in the ground. I was like, what is this? So my sponsor are like, this is snow. I said, like, okay, when is it gonna dry? And they told me, like, no, this thing will not dry, it will melt. I stayed inside the apartment for almost like maybe a week, because I'm scared. I never see something like this. I don't know how it come down. So they decide, like, okay, what we need to do is, we need to show you how the life experience is. So I start learning, slowly until 11 months that I live in that area. So they decide, okay, because you don't feel comfortable with the snow, the only thing that we have to do is we have to send you to Seattle. I was like, oh, so that would be fine if there's no snow. When I came into Seattle, it was raining. I said, thank you guys. This is the area that I want. Other than the snow, I want the rain. Ken is a very nice place in so many things. Like I used to stay in Ken, but I travel to different areas because like Bellevue, Redmond, I work in those areas, Benea, Seattle, Northgate side, West Seattle and all those areas. But the people in Ken actually have a love that, sometimes you would say you don't experience it, but if you find anybody in the street, you tell them like, I'm lost and this is the address, I'm trying to go to this place. They will tell you, oh, you know what you need to do? Go there. Probably, I'm not sure with the address, but that person will tell you more better. And they found you in the street, like walking. By then, I don't have a car, on a bike, riding the rain. Some people say, oh, do you want us to give you a ride where you live? And then, I was like, I live in this apartment. And they say, okay, just bring your bike, put it on, and let's go. Imagine somebody don't know you, but try to give you help.
Charles found it difficult to find meaningful work, but that all changed when he met a stranger who was friendly and willing to help out.
One time I went to Seattle to one of the African restaurants in First Avenue. And then one guy was inside the restaurant when we were talking and he was like, you have a British accent. Where are you from? I was like, I'm from Sudan. And then he was like, do you guys speak English there? I said, yes. And because Sudan is colonized by the British. And he told me, are you working? By that time, I'm working, but I tell him like, I'm working, but the place of work is not like what I was expecting. And he told me, okay, give me your phone number. Then I gave him the phone number, and then I was driving home, and he called me on the cell phone. Then I was like wondering because my cell phone doesn't have call ID. And he told me like, do you remember the guy you met in the restaurant? I said, yes. He told me, okay, I want to see you in SeaTac Airport at this time, and I will come and pick you at this place. When I went there, and he told me, okay, I'm going to find you a job. When he found me the job in the airport, and then he was the one filling my application because I have no idea what I'm going to be doing in the airport. And then he started telling me the details of the job that I will be doing, and then he introduced me to the people that, working with him. And after that, I get a job, went for interview, exactly what they want is what they are looking for. So they say, okay, we have a job for you. So they gave me orientation for almost 2 weeks. They took me to Port of Seattle to take a test. I passed the test, and then later they said, okay, they issued me an ID. I started working in the airport as well as I work with World Relief, because World Relief also gave me a chance to help the group of the Lost Boys from Sudan, and then other people from other African countries like Congo, Rwanda, Burundi, and those areas. So I work with in the airport in the night. In the daytime, I work with World Relief, volunteering, pick up the new arrivals, taking them to their apartments, taking them to Department of Lances to get their IDs, get social security cards, and sometime taking them to look for jobs and all those kind of stuff. So it's become a busy time for me, but it was also good because by then I was single, not married, and that's what, I do for a living.
After a very difficult life in Africa, he came to America and eventually found his way to Kent. Now he wants to give back to the immigrant populations coming to America looking for opportunity.
We are trying to build a community which is going to probably, if all goes well, it will be in Kent, which will be called African, Asian, and Caribbean Pacific Community Alliance. So that those who are in America who went in a successful way, without breaking a law, without having problem with the police, without having problem with the federal government, should also come and share their thoughts with others who are still coming new, because the settlement process is still going on. Like I remember a couple of months ago, there are still people coming from Iraq, people coming from other parts like Syria, Egypt, Tunis, and all those kind of, countries. So it's good to share with them, associate with them, and tell them, how you become a successful man in your life, so that the more you work, the more the city that they will come in will grow. There are so many brave people that move to the city of Ken. For example, there are some of them the immigrants that moved to Ken or brought to Ken. Some of them back in their countryside used to be business people. Some of them used to be doctors. Some of them they're doing so many different things. So now, if you bring all those people together, give them the opportunity to recreate, those things in their language, in whatever it is, it will make the city of Ken be the best city in the entire U.S.